There we go, man.
Okay, cool.
All
So,
right.
welcome to Roadster Rants. My name's Adam. This is Dan.
How you doing?
Say hi, Dan.
Hello. This is the first ever Roadster Rants. So welcome everyone.
Yeah, it was a little idea that we had. We both like cars. We both like talking about cars. So, figured, why not talk about what's going on? And both of us have some pretty interesting stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
And Toyota being kind of a dick about it. And also, F-150 Lightning. I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit because there's been a lot of stuff going on with that recently. And I think
Okay.
it's one of
Yeah.
the only decent EVs on the market, in my opinion.
It does have a nice big
And
trunk.
also,
So
oh yeah, it does. It doesn't look like a stupid other gimmick truck, but
yeah.
anyways, also, the Dodge EV is soon to be announced. So they figured we could do some predictions and see what that's going to be that or what that's going to be like. So yeah,
Okay. Just don't pigeonhole yourself as the EV guy because
no
I'm
God
okay with
no.
being a slightly anti-EV guy, but you don't want to be
Oh
the
no no no! Like I'm hoping Dodge makes it cool, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, sure thing. So let's jump into this Toyota BS, Like you know what? Why
Yes,
don't I just read the post? You want me to read the post so
go ahead.
people
Yeah,
understand
go
what
go
we're
right
talking
ahead.
about?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
go right ahead.
And here I'll even throw it up here for our video listeners. They don't listen on video,
Yes.
but
So we'll be uploading this. Oh, by the way, yeah, we'll be uploading this to Spotify at Roadster Rants. And what's your YouTube channel?
Book Auto Works on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you'll be able to find it on Rumble as well. So my channel cross populates on Rumble, but YouTube is really where it's at.
Yeah.
So anyway, Toyota. This fellow named Blake Alvarado, he posted in the SCCA members chat on Facebook, and he says, "I have a 2022 GR86 purchased in January to be a daily driver and occasional autocrosser. He's got 13,770 miles on it. Changed the oil twice so far. Generally taking care of the car. That's his opinion, of course. But one of the things
Yeah.
that he was really excited about with this GR86 is that Toyota actually advertises a NASA membership. That's the National Automotive Sports Car Association, I believe it is, but
Yeah,
basically
not the
amateur
space
racing.
agency.
Yeah, no, not the space cars, NASA cars, not NASA space. Car no go space. Um, but yeah, so that was one of the things that attracted him to the GR86 because Toyota intends it to be for motorsports, right? So on July 10th, he had an engine failure due to oil starvation, and they tore it down at the Toyota dealership. And cylinder number four, the rod bearing had failed. And the cause of that was the very common for FRSs, 86s, BRZs, etc. A chunk of sealant, RTV basically, came loose and got lodged in the oil pickup. And like I said, this is a common thing. This isn't some weird thing. This has actually been happening to several people with 86s and FRSs.
Also, the dealership did actually tear the engine down because the last I
They
heard,
did.
I have not been up to date. I've only heard a little bit about this, but I heard that they didn't even tear it down and they basically just told them no. But keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So they did tear it down, right? But since the car was relatively new, only 13,000 miles on it, they put it over to a field technical specialist, which is someone from the corporate side of things who uh, determines whether something is warrantable or not. Well, this clown, whoever he is, which he never actually named, he dug around in Blake's social media and found a picture of him autocrossing. Where's that picture of him autocrossing? Right there. It's just a little
Yeah.
autocross, like he's not even maybe he's like a little bit sideways or something, right?
Yeah.
Not a big
Yeah. I mean, that's a little bit of a drift. But I heard the onboard video wasn't even him. It was of a white one, a white
oh
GR86.
yeah. Yeah. So like, yeah, so this guy, the field technical specialist, he found that picture of him doing an autocross And he also found another video of him driving someone else's car. And with the combination of that, the FTS, he was said, yeah, we're not going to warranty this because you damaged your car doing motorsports. Uh, so that's where he's at. That's where he was stuck, and he tried to escalate it further. And this is another problem. I don't know if you've ever heard of Gulf State Toyota, but Gulf State Toyota is a distribution franchise that's underneath Toyota corporate, and they're a completely separate entity from Toyota USA. And that's probably one of the problems that's arising from this thing is another layer of this whole onion, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, so like it just died there. He tried to escalate it higher up in Gulf States Toyota, and they basically said no, we're gonna you know take the word of this FTS, and we don't want to upset our dealer, so you don't have a warranty claim. It'll be $11,000 for you to replace that engine.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, where do we want to dive into this? Because I definitely got some opinions.
Go ahead, man. Lay it on me.
All
Lay
right.
me on.
So, I see what Toyota's trying to do here. They're trying to be good guy Toyota and appeal to the youth market and to the sports enthusiast market with an affordable price range. Like this car is obviously geared at people 18 to 25 probably, give or take. Now that range goes up. I'm not saying people over 25 can't drive it, but for the price range and for that, it's obviously geared to like parents whose kids want a sports car, but they don't want to give them a 500 horsepower car that's going to kill them. So
Right.
obviously, it's going to get beaten on a bit. It's like literally like any sports car, it's going to get beaten on. You
and
know, it's
and
going to
you
get
gotta
beaten on,
gotta point out that
and
this isn't just
it doesn't
the
sound like this car was modified.
no, it's not modified. It was completely stock. And this isn't like a base model 86 either. This is the GR86. They specifically
Yeah,
tuned this thing for motorsports, right? For
yeah.
performance.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah, I know. Like, okay, if you're gonna be good guy Toyota and sponsor a NASA event and send the cars out there, and well, guess what? You're gonna be putting stress on the car. So if one of your cars blows up, that you said, hey, this car's good to go to the track, and then it blows up at the track, at least be good guy Toyota and fix it. And it's not like
When
the
it's a
the
known
axle
issue,
broke.
that RTV
Yeah, it's not
crap
like
is a known issue.
yeah, and it's not like the axle broke because he was drifting. Because that I could understand. Maybe they wouldn't warranty an axle because he was drifting it, not really driving it. I can understand that. But like an engine failure at 13, was it 13,000 miles the car
Yeah,
had?
13,000 miles. Yep.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's
Yeah.
if it had 100,000 miles, that'd be one thing. But it had 13,000 miles. That's basically a brand new car.
Yeah,
Like,
and I'm
come on,
sorry, but
Toyota.
you're not going to break a completely stock car doing autocross. Like you just aren't.
No.
And that's ridiculous to think that a car that's designed for performance, which it's got that GR badge on it, that's
Yeah.
Toyota saying like, hey, this is the performance edition, right? Yeah, there's no way. I mean, people beat on like their so any type of machinery is going to have an operating parameters, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
so obviously, if you money shift it or something like that, or if you like rev way too high, or you have like stupid wheels on it or something, and like giant, like 25-inch rims or something, that breaks an axle or
Yeah.
something, right? But no, this guy kept his car stock. He was operating it
Yeah.
within the operational parameters. Like, they could go and look and see like his history in his ECU to make sure he didn't like money shift it or over rev or anything like that.
Yeah, all that's
Um,
recorded.
oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, all that data is recorded, so they know whenever someone truly abuses a car, right?
Yeah,
Um,
nowadays it's not like it's, a 80s car with no ECU where, it's just whatever. You look at the brake pads and you can tell how they've been driving it. You look at the clutch, but
right.
no, it's and an annoying part is like I like to think that these big corporations, Toyota, Subaru, whatever, all of them like their consumers, but at the same time, we all kind of know that they're just giant corporations looking to save every penny that they possibly can. But at the same time, those NASA events aren't cheap. They are not cheap to host. That's a minimum. I thinking off the top of my head, that's minimum probably a couple $100,000 investment right there from
Oh, no
Toyota.
doubt. I mean, it's at
Minimum,
least like 50 grand to
minimum.
like rent the
It
track.
might go up higher than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be even be higher than that. Probably is for how many events that they're hosting. At that point, just, if you're gonna have, because here's the thing, they're not selling a million of these things, these GR86s. They're not selling them the same way they sell Corollas or Siennas or whatever, minivans and whatever sedans. They're only selling a limited number of these cars. So why not support them? And by the way, I bet you if this was a Supra, they would have warranted it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't
Those
know about
super
that.
those super companies, those super customers are repeat customers.
So there's an interesting tidbit about that too. Like this whole deal has brought out a lot of anecdotes, shall we say, of like other people having other issues. Um, and I have actually started seeing, because of this story, people talking about their Supras, and there are certain things that Toyota is like cool orienting, but there's other things that they're like, it's the BMW, like, we don't want to mess with the BMW stuff. And you gotta
Oh yeah.
wonder if some of that has to do with, the partnership with Subaru as well. Because I mean, yeah. So
Yeah.
Toyota totally fucked up this warranty issue, right? But
Yeah.
you got to admit, Subaru built the engine.
Oh yeah, no, they
Subaru is the
did.
one that squirted
100%.
RTV like all over the place
Well,
inside the engine,
that's
and
the
it
funny
caused the
part. Well,
failure.
I wonder what royalties Toyota pays to Subaru to use one of their engines to an extent. I mean, maybe not royalties is the right word, but they obviously pay Subaru for the engine
Yeah, they
and
do.
whatnot. But man, I wonder what because I'm assuming there has to be some kind of communication with warranties on Subaru parts on a Toyota. There has to be some kind of communication because what I would assume is, and I'm not a steel technician, I'm not a service writer, I'm not any of that, so I don't know. I don't work for Toyota or Subaru, but my assumption is engine blows up. If it is warranted, then Toyota contacts Subaru and Subaru warranties it and pays for it, and then it goes back to Toyota. That's my assumption. I'm
I
not
you
sure
know
though.
I
It's
I don't know.
it's
I Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Either
I
way, Toyota should have definitely covered this. And also snooping around on social media is just a low blow move.
that's
Like,
that's like creepy. That's big time creepy.
yeah.
And like
Now that
the
being, yeah, or
FTS
go ahead.
didn't even look at the engine. He didn't
Yeah,
look at anything. All he did was go creep on this guy's social media pages and
yeah.
and declare that it was no good. Like he didn't
Oh
actually
yeah.
like go inspect anything.
Oh
So
yeah, no.
yeah.
Now that being said, playing devil's advocate here, I'm just gonna play that for a second here.
Okay.
There is a lesson to be learned here. Careful what you post on social media with your warranted car. Because this is not the first time I've heard the story where guys buy, and not just FRSs or whatnot, buy like 80, $100,000 sports cars and go roll race them on the freeway and blow up their engines and be like, well, the engine broke. It's like, yeah, we have this, yeah, except for you've got your Instagram tag right there on the windshield or on the side window, and they just look it up and see you roll racing at 130. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
well, I
you
mean,
abuse this car.
that goes back to what I was saying about the operational parameters of the vehicle, right? Like if you
Oh,
stay within the
100%.
operational parameters of the vehicle, it should be fine. Like you can,
Oh no, I agree. Drive
you
your
know,
car.
it's
You
it's
know.
just like a Boeing 747, like that. Like there was like one pilot, back when they were demonstrating the it just came out. He went through the specs and he was all like, "Oh, so this thing can do 1G upside down." So he like went and like rolled a Boeing 747,
Yeah,
and
I
the
remember
people
that.
the Boeing guys were all like, what the hell are you doing? Don't ever do that again. And he was like, it's within the operating parameters. Like the
Yeah.
plane is like fine. Like, go inspect it. That's the thing. Like with these cars, it's so easy to inspect.
Oh no,
If
I
someone's like
100%
operated
agree.
it outside of parameters. So
Yeah, no, I was just playing devil's advocate there for a second,
yeah,
but no, yeah, it's just, no, Toyota for the social. I don't understand what this is a problem with companies in general. They don't understand social media backlash until it's already too late. This has been a
it
common
is too
thing I've
late.
seen over the past maybe 10 years, maybe about the past 10 years since social media has really blown up,
Hmm.
where like they screw over X customer when they don't understand that X customer nowadays has a lot of power through social media, and word of mouth spreads faster than it ever has before. You know, like
Yeah. And
now
especially
I
like you were saying earlier, like this is a tight knit community. These like 86
yeah.
owners, they're not like a Camry owner, right? Like all of these sports car people, like you and I and these
Oh
86
yeah, no, I
owners, like we
mean,
all talk to each other, right? Like we're all
oh
we're
yeah,
all like a
no.
big
A little
family.
background, by the
We're
way.
family,
Little background,
you
by the
know.
way, for family. No, a little background, by the way. Myself and Dan were in the same. We both own. I used to own a Barth 500, a Kia 500, a Barth, and you still own yours?
Oh yeah, I still online. It's my daily driver. Yeah.
Yeah, we were both in the Austin Fiat Club for a while, and now I don't know if actually I'm still in that. I don't know. I think I went through my Facebook groups and like
You kicked
took out a
yourself
bunch of
out.
Fiat stuff. So I don't know, but yeah. Well, I don't know. It's always it never really feels right to be in a car club about a specific car when you
Sure.
no longer own that car.
Yeah.
Now I got the Eclipse though. That thing's fun. But no, back to the thing here. No, it just, companies need to start understanding, especially with small stuff like that. Like if it was a Toyota Corolla, nobody's going to care,
Hmm.
because one, they realistically shouldn't be tracking a brand new Toyota Corolla. It's not designed for that. It's not designed for red line over and over again and
The GR
hard
Corolla is coming
stop
out.
braking. Oh, I know, man. That actually does look really good. I will say Toyota and Hyundai are both doing some really cool stuff. I just wish, God, Toyota, stop shooting yourself in the foot with these with this stuff.
Talking about my
Uh,
Abarth, it's been my daily driver for like 9 years now, and it's getting long in the tooth. And I was honestly really excited about the GR Corolla coming out because I was seriously thinking is like when these become available, I'm going to trade in my Abarth, because I need a new daily driver, and the GR Corolla would be the perfect fit, right? But after seeing this stuff, man, it makes me not
yeah.
not want the GR Corolla so much, or like just wait and buy one outside of warranty anyway. You know, like what's the point of buying a new car like inside of warranty if
Oh
like you're gonna
yeah.
do this crap? So
Oh no, I agree 100%. It's just almost funny nowadays too. Like, and that's exactly the backlash right there.
yeah,
You right there, a consumer, and you're not going to be the only one either. You right there, consumer, are excited
I
about a
buy
new
a lot
product
of cars Toyota.
from Toyota, and then
Just
this
just
backlash.
FYI, I buy
Yeah,
a
no,
lot of cars.
yeah, yeah, you do because yeah, you do. You a lot of cars.
And a new Toyota isn't going to be
You
one of
know,
them anymore.
nope. And you know what? And here's the thing also. You don't piss off the enthusiast market. Here's why. Because people ask the enthusiast for recommendations. They ask the car guys.
Yep.
It's the same thing in the PC world, the computer
Mhm.
building world. I was just listening to another podcast, the WAN show with Linus Tech Tips. Really good podcast, by the way. Go check them out. But if you're into computers and stuff like that. But there was a recent scandal with I can't remember the name of this company, but basically this charity live streamer won a PC, and then the company screwed him over, and legitimately within 2 weeks the company went bankrupt because they just everyone canceled their orders, and it's the same thing. The enthusiasts are the people that get asked for recommendations, because like my sister, for instance,
Hmm.
just recently bought a brand new Subaru Outback because she just had her first kid and she wanted something safe. And I said, "Yep, this thing is indestructible. If you get hit by a semi, you will be fine. Like these things are indestructible." And she's like, "Okay." And she went and bought one. And yes, she's owned a couple Subarus before, so she is a bit opinionated, but she still asked me. And don't get me wrong, I'm no expert, but I do know a thing or two.
Sure. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
know a
The
good brand from
normies
a
all
bad
know that
brand.
you know about cars. So of course they're going to ask, right? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if she said, "Hey, should I go buy this brand new Maserati?" I'd be like, "God, no." Yeah, you sell it right before the warranty goes out. Do not drive it a mile after the warranty because Maseratis are named after the sound they make when the warranty expires. They go,
Yeah.
as soon as you roll over, it goes it just breaks the engine in half. Oh
Oh
God.
man, don't get me started on Maserati's warranty either. I, I don't know. I know some things about the Maserati dealership rear that I don't know. Let's not get into it. But maybe in a future episode.
Yeah.
Let me just
Okay.
say that just because you buy an expensive car doesn't necessarily mean the warranty and service department is going to match. So that's an unfortunate reality. Um,
Yeah.
and what's really unfortunate too is that I've always considered Toyota to be top notch when it comes to dealership
Oh
service.
yeah.
You know,
100%. No,
so
they've always kind of been the underdog. Well, not really underdog, but like the good person's car company. That's what I
yeah,
always used to consider them as.
right.
Like they've had some legendary cars and whatnot. And like now, do I agree with some of the choices they've made with recent things? Supra. No. But that being said, they've always been known for reliability and safety and whatnot. And also their off-roaders kick ass, like the Forerunner, the Tacoma. Those have always been like my recommendations for when somebody asks me like, "I'm thinking about getting an off-road or what should I get?" And I'd just be like, "Oh, well, stay away from the Bronco because it's gonna blow up." But uh
Yeah,
Forerunner
I mean
and
Taco's best car ever, their best truck, light pickup truck ever.
oh yeah.
So
Oh, 100%. I know guys who have just beat those things to death and they take it and take it and take it.
well, who's gonna take that spot? I think now from Toyota, especially after this fiasco, is Mazda. I think
Oh
Mazda is going to
yeah.
be the everyman's car now because
That and Hyundai.
yeah, Hyundai's doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good, yeah.
I
But
liked
I
their
just want to point out that
N64 Vision.
when it comes to honoring warranties and stuff like that, when the Indy Miata came out, they were blowing transmissions like left and right, you know, and it became a big issue, and Mazda knew about the issue, right? They actually were warranting transmissions on vehicles with modified engines. Like there were people who had turbocharged their engines and blew up their transmission because they're like doubling the amount of torque they were putting through it, right?
Yeah.
Something that's obviously going to blow up a transmission.
Yeah.
So it was their fault that the transmission blew up, but because Mazda knew it was a known issue, they were warranting it anyway.
Oh yeah.
So I mean
Man,
that's the kind of
Miata
thing
people
that's
are
gonna,
cool.
yeah,
I love Miata crew, man, because they just do literally everything. Like they're one of the few I'm gonna say car cult here lightly. I don't mean literal cult, but they are kind of a car cult. They are literally do everything. Autocross, off-roading, like
yeah.
back road racing, drag racing. They legitimately have swapped every engine on the planet into those freaking cars. It's awesome.
Oh man,
Uh
a friend of mine has one with a 2.5 liter Duratec that's like turbocharged. It's like pushing like 400 horsepower. NC Miata. That's insane. It's insane.
jeez.
But yeah, and like
Okay.
it's funny the Miata community. Like you were talking about age groups. Like what's funny about Miata is like you see everyone from like some teenager with his first car beat up Miata, like all the way up to like a 60-year-old man, and like they're all like having fun in their Miata. Like
Oh
they're all just
yeah.
enjoying it.
Well, they're just fun cars. The thing a lot of people don't understand is everyone's like, "Oh, it's slow," and it's like, yeah, but here's the fun part: you can redline every gear and never worry about getting a speeding ticket and you can have fun doing it.
Yeah.
You never have to look down at your speedo and go, "Oh shit," they're not that fast, and you can make them fast, but
I mean, let's face it, the 86 that we're talking about isn't fast either, but it's just a fun
no, it's
car,
not.
you know? It's just a
No,
cover
that's a whole meme in and of itself. 86 owners. Be
letter.
like, man, I'm not gonna like piss off the entire 86 community here, but uh, man.
Oh,
Okay, well,
one more point I want to bring up about
yeah, go
warranties,
ahead.
before we close up on this topic. Um, you know, people were pointing out that Toyota has clauses in their warranty that if you're doing motorsports, they're not going to cover you, right?
Yeah.
And people were trying to say, like, obviously this guy's he's doing autocross. Autocross is not a motorsport. Give me a break. But anyway, I mean, there are some, like you were saying, devil's advocate. There's scenarios where you can deny a warranty, right?
Oh
Um,
yeah,
but I
100%.
want to point out that like every manufacturer has those weasel words in their warranties, right? Like I know
Oh
BMW
yeah.
does, I know Porsche does, right? But Mazda, BMW, Porsche, these are examples I can definitely state like firsthand.
Oh
People
yeah.
will break stuff like doing track days and they're still covered.
Oh yeah,
BMW,
100%.
BMW like knows you're gonna beat on like an M3 or M4 and like they expect it. So, they're
Oh yeah.
it's priced into the car, should we say, and like so it is with Porsche also, you know.
Hmm.
They're not D bags when it comes to honoring their warranty. But
Oh
so
yeah, no. Oh gosh, that being said, the cost of maintenance on Porsches nowadays is still insane. That's why I love Porsche. It's one of
yeah.
my favorite, like, just if I ever won the lottery, first thing I'd do is go buy like a 911 GT2 RS. But like, because they're just amazing cars. But God, I don't think I could ever afford to own one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you learn to do the maintenance yourself, you can. It's
Oh
surprising
yeah, I
what you can
know.
actually like afford. Just doing things yourself. But
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing at the end of the day, this goes for pretty much almost all companies nowadays. We like to think that these companies are, oh yeah, they're on our side. They love us, like that and whatnot. No, they're most 90% of them are corporate greed, corporate whores who just want to, make as much money as humanly possible in the shortest amount of time. And they do not care 5 years from now what happens to that car. It's kind of the sad truth of it and whatnot. So yeah, if you ever think, by the way, that the corporate entity cares about you, it doesn't. Spoiler
yeah.
warning, it doesn't. Like they will make it seem like they do as much as possible, but they don't care.
So
They don't.
here's one thing I want to point out too is like this was specific to Gulf States Toyota, right? And Gulf States Toyota, like you guys should go look this up because it is not the same thing as Toyota Motor Sales USA. They're like completely separate entities. So whenever Blake was escalating his issue, he was only escalating it within Gulf States Toyota. Gulf States
Yeah,
Toyota never passed his information on to Toyota corporate. Like
yeah.
they like
I think he
stonewalled
had
it.
to pass it on. I think I read in the Motor
Well,
Trend.
I think they found out through social media. I think that's
Yeah, I
how
think
corporate got
Toyota.
involved.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I mean, I'm sure corporate's going to fix this because they can't afford not to at this point.
They
It is.
have actually, like, it was just updated today. I can read you the update real quick here. So Blake posted an update today. He said Toyota has decided to honor the warranty claim on my engine, and he's very happy about that situation. Um, and he attributed it
But it
completely
shouldn't
to
be
the
have to
public
go to
response.
this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have to go to this level of public shaming at this point, you know,
So
of
I want to point
Toyota
something out
to,
here, though. This is Toyota corporate, like finally realizing what was going on and
yeah,
stepping in.
somebody lost their job at that dealership, by the way, or somebody lost their
Did
trade.
they?
I guarantee you somebody got fired for
I
this.
don't know if they
Like,
did because I think this is squarely on the shoulders of Gulf States Toyota. Like they have
oh
a
yeah, but what does that look
reputation.
like to Gulf State Toyota?
I don't think they care. I think that's the problem. I
Fair
think
enough.
that's honestly the problem. I don't think they care. Like I've this is hearsay because I was unable to confirm it. Because if you Google Gulf State Toyota, like anything, all you get is a bunch of ads. It's all like they push so much money into Google. It's all just ad search stuff. But I was trying to confirm that, there was multiple stories I was seeing where Gulf States Toyota, they have a completely whole separate supply chain from Toyota corporate. So like even with parts and stuff. Um, apparently they got caught like years ago selling aftermarket parts as genuine Toyota, and I was trying to confirm
Wow.
that story. So
Oh, so
if
they're just
anyone out there
scumbags.
like
Okay.
knows for sure and can confirm that story, let me know. But I believe it because they sound like a bunch of scumbags.
Yeah, well, to be fair, like, God, I cannot wait for the day that legislation, oh, that's a tongue twister word, starts really cracking down on dealerships and overselling and stuff like that. God, because like, for instance, like I was really excited about the new, and this is a whole nother, we could go on a whole rant about this, but I'll make this real short. Um, I was really excited about the new Nissan
Yeah.
Z. Super excited. Manual transmission, twin turbo V6, awesome setup car for the price point. You know,
Yes.
it will never be sold at that price point. Those things are going to go for 80, 90, $100,000 right out the gate with dealer markups. And that is so stupid because those
Yep.
engineers worked so hard to get that thing in a reasonable price point, and now it's just never going to see the light of anything under 50 grand. And it's just like, ugh,
Well,
stupid.
I don't
I
know if
can't
more
wait till we all
laws
go to
are
direct
going
auto
to
sale.
solve anything here, but it's
Well,
definitely.
Ford's been trying to crack down on it, but there's only so much they can do.
I mean, the Moss Magnuson Warranty Act, like the should have prevented this bullshit that happened, with this guy in his 86, because technically, to deny a warranty claim, they should have had to have proved, even if they were claiming he damaged it during motorsports, they technically have to claim or prove that he damaged it during motorsports
Yeah,
in order to deny him. But it's eh, to get to make a law work for you, you have to hire a lawyer and sue. And that's really the only way
yeah,
laws actually work for you. So I don't know. I don't think laws are going
yeah.
to
And
help
getting anything
anything.
to go
Consumers
through.
need to like really buckle down and put pressure. This organic social media pressure that has been popping up the last several years. I mean, this is fantastic. So
Oh, I love it. I'm like,
yeah.
please just pressure the dealerships. The problem is there's always morons willing to buy it way over MSRP. Who just have more money than brains, and they're just like, hey, whatever. I'll pay 100,000 for this $50,000 Bronco.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh God. But that actually transitions us perfectly into our next topic. I wanted to talk EVs for a second to change
Okay.
things up. Um, because in general, I've been kind of looking into them, and the only EV that really interests me at this point is the Lightning.
Mm,
And I want to get your opinion on this because the main thing is the only thing that really interests me that I'm kind of sick and tired with other companies like Rivian and Tesla
like
and
ultra premium.
well, ultra premium. But the thing
Yeah.
is, what I like about the F-150 is it's just a truck.
Yeah. Right.
There's
I like
no
that too.
stupid slide out tray thing or like 57 other weird dumb gizmos and gadgets. It
I
is a
hate gadgets.
simple
Yeah.
American truck
That's my
that is
biggest gripe with electric vehicles in general is that they're a gadget. They're not a
yes,
vehicle. They are a
yes.
gadget. And I cannot stand the gadgetization of personal transportation. It is going to be the death of personal transportation because you know what happens after gadgetization is it becomes a subscription as a service. And you know what? Actually, let's
Yeah, like
let's
Beamer
save
with
that
the
for next
heated
episode.
seats.
Are you cool with that? Yeah, like next episode,
Yeah,
let's
that's
talk
fine.
about subscription as a service infiltrating personal vehicle ownership and how it's going to destroy personal transportation.
Yes.
So next
No,
episode,
yeah,
yeah,
no, I agree.
next
We can
episode.
save that. Yeah, we can save that for that. But what I was just going to talk about mainly was them just being so over the top with electric vehicles. What I like about the F-150 is it's practical.
Yeah.
It's actually a practical vehicle. It doesn't have stupid gizmos and gadgets that you're only going to use like once or twice a year. And like realistically, like, like Rivian owners say, oh, I'm going to use my pull out Foreman grill and all that all the time. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's the same problem with everyone who bought motorhomes in the 80s and 90s.
Mm.
They think they buy a motorhome. They think, oh yeah, we're gonna go travel the country with our family, and then they find out their kids hate them and don't want to spend that much time in a vehicle with them. And over the course of 20 years, the thing accumulates 20,000 miles and ends up getting sold.
Yeah.
Like, actually, I will say one thing though, with EVs in general, and this is brings us to our next topic that I'm going to transition to, is I was watching Car Trek. It's a cool series on YouTube with Ed Bolin and and Tavares and I can't remember what the other guy's name is, but Ed was driving the Model 3 and he described it perfectly. He said he bought a Roomba to accomplish a task that he did not want to do. That is
Yes.
what Tesla is making the car. It is no longer about driving, it is about a chore that you are trying to get done. And I'm like, that embodies it perfectly.
And that makes my skin crawl because, I actually enjoy driving. So why do I want to get rid of
Yeah,
it?
no,
But
exactly. Well,
yeah.
that brings me to my next thing that I'm interested in. I'm not sure how much you know about is Dodge's EV that's
I
apparently
have not
coming
even
out.
looked at it. No, I don't know.
So there's a whole video on it, and basically their whole thing was performance made us do it. That was their whole marketing behind
Okay.
it. There has been no actual released images of it yet, but in the trailer, it showed a car under a sheet doing an all-wheel drive burnout.
Under the sheet. That's okay. That's funny. I'm gonna go look that up.
And
That
this
sounds
is,
fun.
yeah, no, it's a really, really solid video. But actually, you could just play it and screen share it real quick. You're on your computer, aren't you?
We only have about like 2 minutes left, man.
Oh, do
uh,
you? Oh, okay. I
do
didn't
we
realize
do you
we
want
were
to take a
recording that
break and
long.
then like we can keep talking about this, or do you just want to save it for another
We'll save
podcast?
it for another time.
Yeah,
But basically, my whole hope, just to finish this up, my whole hope is that Dodge can actually bring fun back to the EV market and not the $500,000 cars. Because
I hope
let's
so.
be honest here, like the Rivian and the, all those ones are all way out of the normal price range. I'm like, please make a badass, like $50,000 EV sports car. Bring EV sports in because we all know Dodge has like pretty much the biggest kahunas when it comes to not giving a crap about EPA regulations and just putting maximum horsepower down. Now, are they
That
actually good handling cars and ones? Not really. But I like the fact that they just basically snorted crack and went, yeah, Hellcat and a Durango. Let's go.
I feel like Dodge is going to enter the EV market with a hybrid though, right? And what it's going to be is a hybrid Hellcat where it's just a Hellcat engine with like an
That's my
extra
hope.
like 300 like electric horsepower.
That would be awesome. I would be 100% down with that.
That would be
Throw some
awesome.
electric horsepower in the front wheels and give us a
Yeah,
Hellcat through the rear engine. I'm
there you
like,
go.
please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
apparently their
Do
whole
that.
Stellantis thing.
Yeah.
Or Stellantis or Stellaris. I don't know. Whatever the hell Chrysler
It's a
Mopar is
mess.
calling it.
Yeah, that's a mess.
Yeah. Oh God. I'm like, stop merging. Everyone owns everyone nowadays. It's stupid. Oh my God.
That's another whole episode we need to talk about is like the mergers
Yeah.
that are happening. So, but yeah, man, well
Yeah.
let's start wrapping this thing up.
Yeah.
I want to say thanks to
So
everyone for listening and in our first ever episode. I think we're going to be doing this, or we're going to be recording it every Friday night. Maybe we'll get it posted Saturday. Does that sound like a reasonable plan?
probably, yeah, that sounds about right. I might try to upload to Spotify tonight. I have no idea.
Okay.
But well, we'll figure it out one way or another. You will
Okay.
see it when I start sharing links around. You'll see it.
Great. Fantastic, man. Yeah, it was good chatting with you, and we're going to do it again next week. So, see y'all
Oh
then.
yeah, man. Sounds good. Later.
Bye.